Oh, thank you. Long sleeves, Mrs. Gardner. We were wearing those when I was a girl. Very gloomy they were. One might as well stay here in the country. You think they do better than that in London? Oh, sister, since we last saw you.
So I have heard.
Now, I do not blame Jane, because she would have got Mr. Bingley if she could, but within the week, Charlotte Lucas is to be married to Mr. Collins, who should have been Lizzie's. It makes me very nervous and poorly, sister, to be so thwarted in my own family. I must go to my room. Long sleeves. Such a disappointment.
You look very pretty, Elizabeth.
Are you in love? Well, you must tell me everything that has happened.
These things happen so often. A young man, such as you described Mr. Bingley to me, falls in love with a pretty girl for a few weeks. Then when accident separates them, he so easily forgets her.
But it was no accident, it was design. It's not very often that a young man of an independent fortune is persuaded to think no more of a girl with whom he was violently in love but a few days before.
Violently in love? That is a phrase as often applied to feelings which arise from half an hour's acquaintance as from a real, strong attachment. Pray, how violent was Mr. Bingley's love?
I never saw a more promising inclination. He had grown quite inattentive to other people. And is not general incivility the very essence of love?
Lizzie, it had better have happened to you. You would have laughed yourself out of it. That poor Jane. Well, she shall come to stay with us in London, in Gracechurch Street, the better to get over it. But not in any hope of meeting the young man.
Mr. Bingley is at present in the custody of Mr. Darcy, who may perhaps have heard of Gracechurch Street, but would hardly think a month's ablutions enough to cleanse himself from its impurities. And Mr. Bingley never stirs without Mr. Darcy. They are not likely to meet.
And you, Lizzie? What about you? No. You are too sensible to fall in love simply because you have been warned against it. So I shall warn you. Be on your guard against Mr. Wickham. Do not involve yourself or endeavor to involve him in an affection which want of fortune would make imprudent.
Want of fortune? That was Mr. Darcy's doing.
That is neither here nor there. The fact is, you must not let your fancy run away with you.
Aunt, this is serious talk indeed.
But you have sense. We all expect you to use it.
I am not at present in love with Mr. Wickham, but he is, beyond all comparison, the most agreeable man I ever saw. And although I do not want to make anyone unhappy, least of all you, Aunt Gardner, young people seldom refrain from falling in love because of want of fortune. And how can I promise to be wiser than the rest of mankind?